Good afternoon. My name is Maria Carluccio. I am the grandmother of Isabella Valvano.
What first brought you to Canada, and were you already acquainted with anyone in Canada before you arrived?
What brought me to Canada? My father, he lived in Canada, Meryton. The city was at that time, now it's St. Catharines. Lived here for 9 years, correspondence by letters only, so we communicated for 9 years. Finally, September the 12th, 1959, we saw myself, my brother Frank, and my mother Pina embraced my father after 9 years at 30 Bessie Street, St. Catharines, Ontario. And his name, Vincenzo Covata.
And how old were you when you first came?
I was 12 years old, 9 months, 3 months, 9 days.
What was your means of transit to get here?
Lucky me. 10 days in the sea, by ship, of course, and 2 days by train. So landed at Halifax 10 days after, and 2 days by train. And we landed at the train station, not in Meryton. Mistake, I don't know who to say the mistake, who made the mistake. However, we arrived at the city of Hamilton, and waiting for my dad to greet us or meet us to pick us up. But we kept looking and he wasn't around, no sight of him. So someone luckily had a phone, and we had asked if we could borrow the phone, and we called him at his house. And he was actually waiting at the train station in Meryton, but no sight of us, so he decided to go back home. And luckily, when we called, he was home, and we told him that we had arrived, and he said, "Well, where are you?" "I just come from the train station." And he said, "I didn't see you." "So we're here, we're in Hamilton." "Oh, that's the wrong train station. I am in Meryton. This is where I've been waiting for you." So the advice he gave us, of course, him not driving, he said, take a taxi, and of course we had the address where the taxi driver was supposed to drop us off. And he did, very safely.
Okay. And from which part of Italy did you immigrate from?
Well, I'm from Limosano, that's my hometown, province of Campobasso.
And what was the journey like to Canada?
The journey to Canada, beautiful. First couple of days, enjoyed, I guess, at the deck of the ship, whatever you call it, because the weather was still good at that time of the year. But after the third, fourth day, when we got more inland, the situation changed, and I remember specifically my mother and I stayed in our cabin. My brother Frank, lucky him, he would be able to go to the dining room and brought us back some food for us to enjoy. But we were seasick. My mother and I were seasick, so we spent a lot of our days in our cabin.
And what do you remember of your first impression of Canada? Did you encounter any obstacles as a new immigrant to Canada?
My first impression, actually, I've noticed the little houses, and there is a song still, the little house in Canada. Maybe when I say the little house, it's not the same as when you, back in Italy, we used to say la casetta in Canada, then translated to little house in Canada. The homes were small, especially like now we say the wartime homes. They were very small, and I thought, beautiful, the little house, right? But for me, I had no problem, very good impression right from the start.
And did you have any obstacles when you first moved, when you first immigrated?
No, I can't say that I did, because I reunited with my father, and so everything was there for us home. loving home, and I have none whatsoever.
Did you bring any items of importance with you when you came to Canada, like photographs, heirlooms, anything?
Well, I remember specifically my mother, we have this big, I guess, a case or a box. That was not even a box, but we put a lot of, even our personal belongings that we had, put it in that trunk. That's what it's called. It was a steel trunk. And I remember my mother specifically putting dried vegetables in there so that we would have it with us when we arrived. And we certainly did enjoy it when we came.
So obviously you started a family here in Canada. Did you encounter any obstacles or difficulties when giving birth in Canada, or can you describe your experience as a new mother?
Well, the fact that I came early stage of my life, I had adjusted quite well, and met the love of my life. We got married, started a family right away. Very happy, none whatsoever, no obstacle whatsoever.
Okay. Did you exchange letters with relatives in Italy while you were here?
Yes, I could say I did this for my mother more so because she really was not, she couldn't write, so I did this for her. Her oldest brother, Marcello, every time there was, the only means of communication was through letters, not phones at that time rather. And also my godmother, which I really enjoyed her news each time we communicated.
And do you still have any of those letters that you guys corresponded with?
Unfortunately, no, I don't.
And where is home for you and why?
Where is home? Well, I've set my roots in St. Catharines and never moved anywhere else, lived all these years up to now, and I'm happy to live in St. Catharines for the rest of my life.
Okay. And looking back on your experience immigrating, is there anything that you would have done differently?
I do believe that I've achieved what I set myself for as a young individual, and I'm really happy the way things have progressed and reached so far. So everything is okay.
And did the experience of motherhood or giving birth in Canada give you an increased sense of Canadian identity and connecting with Canadian culture?
No, it came very easily for me, and I've adjusted to motherhood and very well. Now as a grandparent as well, it's not adjusting. You grow in it. So life is beautiful.
And is there anything further you would like to add to this story? Anything you want to touch on?
Pictures, you mean?
Yeah, if you want to show them.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Okay, well, I will begin since when I was a baby, I guess there would have been 3 other siblings in my family, but unfortunately, twins passed away. One at birth and both at birth, and then I lost a 5-year-old sister. So this is a picture that I have of her. At least this is what my dad specifically told me, to take good care of this picture because this is her before she passed. And I do treasure this picture in my heart. And I also would like to say where I was born. I know I said Limosano before, but I would like to show you. This is my birth certificate released from the city of Limosano. Before I married, I had to have a birth certificate, and with mine I also have my late husband's birth certificate, his hometown, Conza de la Campania. So, and I will treasure these for the rest of my life. Very valuable to me. And of course, I will show you, I guess, I know this is, it's not a good picture, however, it's his license. When he came to Canada, he got a license, and this is my beloved husband, which I always love him, even in heaven. I love you.